Alrighty guys, we're back for Mono Red Burn, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. Now doing the burn thing and doing it well, we got all 4 Boltwaves, nice. All 4 Burst Lightning, okay. We got 3 Channeled Dragonfire as well. It's not going to be completely unheard of for that Harmonize ability to come in handy. Then we have 3 Grab the Prize, helping us filter out, see more off the top while burning the opponent's face. Also doing that burn thing well, we got all 4 Lightning Strike. How about a Twin Bolt? It's a 2 mana instant speed, deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Okay, yeah, as far as a 1-of goes, I think it'll be fine in here. Helping us see more off the top, we got Wrenn's Resolve as a 3-of in here. Also, on the top end real quick, we have Virtue of Courage, obviously helping us see more off the top if we can pull it off as a 5-mana enchantment. But we do got to do some rearranging because we're going to be activating that adventure side first very often. Embereth Blaze is a 2-mana instant speed, deals 2 damage to any target. Nice. Also helping us see more off the top, we have 3 Count on Luck in here. It's a 3-mana enchantment, triple red in the casting cost. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Beautiful. How about 3 Slagstorms making the cut? If you're not popping all of the opponent's otters and monks and whatnot, then maybe you activate the bottom ability to deal 3 damage to each player, which is very significant. Then we have all 4 Screaming Nemesis doing the burn thing and doing it well, huh? We have a top end of a couple Sunspine Lynx too. So 4 mana, 5/4. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented, and then also when this enters, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls, which will not affect us because we only have mountains in here, which 23 mountains making the cut ought to be good enough, especially since we're filtering with Grab the Prize and seeing more off the top so easily. Honorable mentions, guys. I almost made this artist's talent deck list. Not this time around, huh? Bloodfeather Phoenix could have been cool. Corey Steelcutter, yeah, probably could have been neat in here. Thought about Pyroclasm too, just based on the deck list that I'm seeing. Scorching Shot almost made the cut, and the Viashino Pyromancer almost made the cut as well. Alright guys, I do my D&Ds to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, and see how we do. Alright, looks like we're getting right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? Dude, I think it's going to be pretty good, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, we go first. I like this. Now we Channeled Dragonfire. I'm going to be patient with it. We don't get to keep it open since it's sorcery, but it's fine. Okay, the opponent plays a tap land anyways, which is good news. They go ahead, keep that on top. And we do get to keep everything else open outside of the Channeled Dragonfire. Everything else in hand is instant. I'd say we can easily discard a mountain. However, no, I'm gonna discard the Channeled Dragonfire because getting to the 5th mountain for the Virtue could be really, really good. Speaking of Virtue, I'm gonna activate it now instead of being patient with it. Get it out of our hand. Dude, Count on Luck is so good. That was a really, really good draw, man. Holy cow. Holy cow. Especially up against a Hopeless Nightmare deck list. It's one of those things too. Like if I keep saying that throughout this video, if we top deck Count on Luck and every single time I'm happy about it, then we might want to consider 4 of them. That's true for pretty much any card though when you're building a deck. Unholy Annex. Okay. Okay, Burst Lightning and a mountain. That's the 5th when it comes time for the Courage. So this is just, you may play that card this turn. So we might as well play it. If I had 5, I'd consider kicking it. Pretty sure a demon's about to come down though. That would put us on a clock if it's a 6/6 demon. If they miss the demon and they wait for Ritual Chamber, then we still have an extra turn, which would be pretty essential, I would say. if we can successfully get Virtue of Courage next turn, I mean, that'll just be, at that point, that'll be too many cards off the top, right? With the Count on Luck also helping us see more. And Count on Luck's looking pretty safe. Oh, they power up the Soulstone. I would call that risky. We're going to pop that Soulstone. Instead of hitting their face, for sure, we want to keep that off the board. It counts as a demon, guys. That's the big thing there. Screaming Nemesis. Totally worth getting that down. That's our card off of Count on Luck. Now we get to keep the Twin Bolt open. So I doubt they would double down on Nemesis. We could Twin Bolt, hit the opponent's face, hit the Nemesis this turn to make it so that way they don't have any life gain. But I think it's also okay to just wait. And I hope that's all right. It's very tempting to do it now. Okay, with only 1 mana open, before we sacrifice this, we are definitely going to make it so that way they can't gain any life off the Unholy Annex. With that 1 mana open, if that was 2 mana, then I'd be a little bit more concerned that they would double down on the Nemesis. But with 1 mana, cut down doesn't hit it. And the other thing that could have hit it for 1 mana was wow, I can't think of the name of it. The 1 mana bargain, which is definitely in their deck list based on what they're playing, right? So that being said, it could have easily been the bargain card. We probably should have just used the Twin Bolt on our turn, so that way we didn't risk that. The opponent's down to 5. Let's see what we see off the top. It's going to be a mountain and a mountain. Oh dear, guys, the flood is pretty bad. Virtue of Courage, that'll come in handy. I'll tell you what, 7 mana for the Dragonfire might actually come into play here. They do go for the 6/6 demon. The clock has begun. Luckily, they do not gain any life there. But they also don't lose life either, now that they have a demon. With Count on Luck and Virtue, I think it should be all too easy. Okay, there we go. Lightning Strike, another Count on Luck. So Lightning Strike, we take the action on the Virtue. You see 3. It's a Boltwave. That'll do it. Also the Virtue of Courage also as well. Not bad, I would say, right? I guess overall the opponent could have seen a little bit more, as their deck list looks pretty scary. Having the Lightning Strike open for the Soulstone Sanctuary really saved our butt, for real. We didn't get to see the Channeled Dragonfire come back with Harmonize, but I do think it'll come in handy every now and then. Alright, let's keep the ball rolling. That was cool. It totally did the burn thing. When I was going over the deck list, I was kind of like making the joke, like doing the burn thing and doing it well, right? It's just because we've played burn with like the same cards many times before at this point, like Boltwave and everything, right? So it's probably worthwhile trading out a land for the grab the prize. So, like, we don't have to do the extra 2 damage. I'm going to keep this. Yeah. With Wrenn's Resolve too. Everything seems completely fine here. So do we trade now or do we just go? Probably we trade now. Yeah. I hope it's not a Spell Pierce. It was not. Okay, good. Excellent news, guys. Okay, empty. Probably worth the pop. We could start with the Wrenn's Resolve, because we could see a mountain and a burst lightning or something. Yeah, we have 2 plays for next turn. That's really good, actually. Before they untap, I think this is the type of deck list that could be rocking some protection for their creatures. We're going to burst lightning the Inti. I think it's a worthwhile pickup. So this is going to be the mini reanimator, right? Yeah, Oculus. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, we're in danger. Boltwave is not bad. So Lightning Strike the Light Shatterer. I think Oculus is coming back next turn, guys. I guess we start with Wrenn's Resolve for more things to play next turn. like both of those are pretty good, right? And we want to utilize the lightning strike that we saw off the Wrenn's Resolve too. Make sure we keep up with some card advantage. The Sunspine Lynx, I don't know if they... I mean, yeah, they're going to be flying over the Lynx anyways. Oculus, Scholar. So doubling down on the Oculus would be pretty darn good, right? So, of course, we let them manifest Dread. The problem is, are they just going to bring the Oculus back next turn again? Screaming Nemesis. Okay, so we want to play the Mountain off the Wrenn's Resolve. So Virtue, Oculus, Slagstorm, 3 damage to everything. They bring back Oculus next turn. They got 4 cards in hand. This is still very much worthwhile, isn't it? Even if they do reanimate everything, it would be silly not to do this. Yeah. Oh, it was a Flesh Crafter, guys, that they manifest Dread with. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yep. Oculus coming back, guys. Scary business, dude. Very scary business. Okay, Channeled Dragonfire. So I really, I mean, the Sunspine Lynx will do 5 off the ETB, which is pretty crazy, man. But maybe if we take the turn for Virtue, Channel Dragonfire their face down card instead of their face, just to kind of keep a little extra pressure off of our face, because, well, we're on a 3-turn clock regardless, until they see more, which the Flesh Crafter renew. Here, 1 second, opponent. I apologize, buddy. Trying to solve the riddle of the Flesh Crafter. So exile this card from your grave, put a +1/+1 counter on target non-legendary creature. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. So I mean, it's like, let's start with the swing. No, okay, all right, let's go Virtue. Let's establish that, get it down, and ready for next turn to help us find even more off the top. And let's make sure they don't have more than 1 creature here with the Channel Dragonfire. Oh, crap, guys. They still have 2 mana open, so they could still keep the face-down card around. Or a Get Lost for the Virtue, but they don't need to worry about the Virtue ability right now. Okay, it was a Helping Hand. Okay, so the goal was to make it so that way they weren't swinging in the air with 2 Oculus, giving us 2 turns instead of 3. So I hope we still landed on a decent turn. Because another thing we could have done was maybe swung with Nemesis. I'm pretty positive they wouldn't have blocked, but we would have had a couple cards open instead. Okay, Light Shatter. It's still going to be just a 2-turn clock, guys. It's not looking great, but at least we have Virtue of Courage established. And, wow. I mean, they still got more. If we could somehow wipe their board again, I don't know how, because Light Shatter is a 4/4, Oculus is a 6. All right, so we're going to start with Boltwave. See 3 off the top. It's good. That's pretty good. Nemesis, grab the prize. I guess it would be grab the prize then. And I guess we'll discard the Nemesis out of our hand. 2 damage. See 2 off the top here too. This is pretty cool. It is. It's just the opponent went a little bit too fast for us. So now we can play the Mountain over here off the Virtue of Courage. And yeah, they're still at 15. We could do... They don't have a single basic. We could do 6 damage off the Lynx, which is crazy business, man. But they're going to win in the air regardless, since we're at 7. So I guess the best play is Boltwave, see 3 more off the top, right? Ooh, Lightning Strike, count on luck as well. Okay. Okay, so I guess it'll be Lightning Strike from over here. And yeah, we could have like targeted. I guess we could have found a way to block, but I mean, let's be real. This is more fun. Like, we had Burst Lightning for the Scholar, potentially. They still got 1 mana over here, guys. And then it could have been Screaming Nemesis on the ground. They still would have gotten through with 8, so we would have needed to pop 2 of their smallest creatures, have a blocker open for the Light Shatter, which means they would have had to miss removal too, which might have been unlikely. Either way, I say we did the fun thing for a reason. Good game, opponent, good game. Yeah, there was probably a safer bet somewhere. Also, I guess if they would have potentially missed the second reanimation for the Oculus, then there would have been a real chance there. But we kind of knew the second reanimation was going to happen because it's a very consistent deck list when we do see it, when we're up against it, right? I don't know, man. Kind of feels good so far, right? It kind of does. It also feels like 23 mana is a lot of mana. But I don't think we want to drop down to 22. There's still going to be so much we want to do on every single turn, especially when we're seeing so much extra off the top, or just doing some trading out too, so. Okay, we go first. I think we keep this as long as we see our third, which, again, 23's felt like a lot for this deck list. Man, if we miss our third for a couple turns, then hopefully we're still finding extra burn and removal. Okay, Burst Lightning is open. Boros. Skrelv. Alright, I guess we'll pop the Skrelv. I guess. Twin Bolt will probably still have some targets next turn. The big thing is you don't want Skrelv's ability to be open. I think it's worth popping that while we can. Okay, we do find our third. That's great news. Okay, Twin Bolt is open. So the question is, are we going to go Nemesis or are we going to establish Count Unluck? Based on Boros colors, we probably want to go Nemesis because of Get Lost. And Get Lost pounding Get Lost hopping a Count Unluck would be pretty bad. Nick Ruckus. Okay, I'm going to be patient with the Twin Bolt, guys. Alright, yep. Since they're tapped out too, getting Nemesis down, start getting some damage through. Optimistic Scavenger. So they're going to get this above the Twin Bolt range for sure here. But there's no guarantee they're going to get it above the Slagstorm range for the turn. They still got the... Oh, wow. They still got the free Demonic Ruckus too, which they'd want to do for the Prowess for sure. That's a good turn. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to... Pretty sure we're going to have to Slagstorm here, guys. We'll start with the swing, of course. Yeah, it'd be pretty silly not to Slagstorm while we can. So I'm going to swing. I think this gets through. All right. 3 damage to each creature. Nemesis does 3 to their face. They can no longer gain life from their Sheltered by Ghost, which is pretty huge. But now, can we find the 11 damage going through here? Voice of Victory. Nice. Ethereal Armor. Okay. Yeah, it gets it above the 3 damage mark, which is pretty good for the opponent. So Sunspine Lynx is decent. Does 3 damage to the opponent. We could hold out on that. Maybe start with grab the prize, ditch the Twin Bolt. Nah, we play the big creature, right? Totally. Does 3 to them down to 8, and it should be easy enough to find the 8. We might even ditch the Count Unluck over the Twin Bolt, because Twin Bolt's still going to be 2. A grab the prize is going to be 2. The opponent can't gain life. So we just have to keep on pushing burn through no matter what, instead of taking the time to establish a Count Unluck or something. Yeah, the Slagstorm hitting a 3 for 1 is no joke, man. Power up Bivouac. Okay, but so the +1 counter on the voice. Yeah, the Sunspine Lynx is actually just doing the thing. Wow, nice. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll start with the swing. because now they have a tough decision to let 5 through or to chump with the Voice of Victory. And then they let 5 through, so now we just lightning strike their face. Bivouac is open, but I don't know what it could possibly be for Boros colors, right? Even if they had blue, even if it was 1 mana for a Spell Pierce, we still had the 2 mana available to pay the Spell Pierce. Excuse me, guys. My goodness. Slowly but surely losing my voice. Hey, we're doing the burn thing. It feels good. I like it. We're 20 minutes in. Make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you're enjoying the channel, then consider subscribing. My goodness, guys. Send help. Words are hard. I'm keeping this. Yeah, because subscribing really does help out the channel. So thank you. And I promise my voice isn't always exiting the building. And I promise, sometimes I do know how to pronounce words. I promise, guys. I'm actually going to turn one Boltwave. If it was just Channeled Dragonfire, I think I would have been patient with the Channeled Dragonfire. But Boltwave only hits the opponent's face anyways. We might as well smack it through while we have the open mountain. Okay, another Screaming Nemesis. That's good. It's really good. Lightning Strike open. Okay, 2 mana. It's going to be a bitter reunion. So, again, while we have the open mana, do I just go for this? Maybe. There's a lot to be said about just having patience with your burn. But right now, since we went first with double Nemesis, just kind of feels like while we have the open mana, we should utilize it. On us down to 11. Ghalta in the grave, guys. 2 turns away from reanimation. Ghalta's this is the 8 mana version. The 12/12. When it enters, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay. Okay, yeah, heck yeah, dude. They're doing some cycling. They got big old chunky Junda dinos over there. Alright, we definitely want to go as fast as possible. I'm pretty sure they're going to reanimate next turn, guys. Hopefully that doesn't mean we die. I hope they don't have haste. We could keep blockers back. But what's the fun in that? They won't have haste, right, guys? We're fine. We're fine. I'm definitely not hovering over the good game for... it was Tapland! Huzzah! Oh no, opponent! I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh man. The reason it felt great that was a Tapland was because I took a big risk, man. We knew exactly what the opponent was setting up there. It could have easily been Zombify for the turn. Ghalta comes down. One of their creatures that Ghalta brings from their hand also gives all their creatures haste or something. I think that could have been all too easy for the opponent to pull off. It also depends on what's in their hand. They got 7 cards in hand too, so. Yeah, we did the aggro thing that game. We were just too fast. Every turn we were pushing a little bit too much through. The double Screaming Nemesis was really, really good, wasn't it? Let's keep the ball rolling, man. I'm having a good time with this. I always have a really good time with Burn, though. And pretty much every set, we visit Burn once or twice. I think this is the first time I'm visiting Burn since Dragonstorm. But every time I visit it, first of all, it always feels better than you'd expect. Because we never really get to see it anywhere. Like, no one's playing pure Burn. And so you kind of think like, well, there must be a reason no one's playing pure Burn. Okay, we're going to try this. This is one where if we don't find our third in time, we have Grab the Prize to help us find it, and then Count on Luck to help us continuously stock up our hand. Okay. I'd say we can wait till the very last moment for Heartfire Hero, but I think it'll be all too easy for them to double down on Hero and get around the Twin Bolt. So I think we pop it now. Yeah, we don't want to risk them being able to drop 2 Monstrous Rage on the Heartfire Hero. So like, yeah, sometimes it's good to wait till the very last moment so they waste some of their cards. I just don't think they're going to waste it. Okay, Scavenger's the pickup over the Swift Spear, and I think we actually... So we do miss our third, that's okay. Grab the Prize can ditch the other Grab the Prize when it comes time, because I like everything else in hand, especially the Nemesis. We probably need to take care of Scavenger before it gets out of hand. I'd love to find the third mana. But again, this is definitely one where we don't want to keep it open, because now we know that they have protection in their deck list too. Shardmage's Rescue is everywhere in these Boros Auras. Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay. We do find our third. That's great news, guys. But if it's a second Sheltered by Ghosts, then establishing anything with Count on Luck or Nemesis would be really risky against Sheltered by Ghost. Number 2. I don't think that's going to stop me. Maybe we even keep it as a blocker. I think we're on the defense right now, guys. Feels pretty bad, but yeah, no attacks. I hope I made the correct decision. Like I said, second Sheltered by Ghosts, it might just be it. Demonic Ruckus. Oh, that gets it around the blocker. Nice, opponent. Nice. So potentially maybe we should have swung. We don't have the ward 2. But Lightning Strike would have been really good. I think it's Grab the Prize. And I think we send the... Like, do we have time to establish the Count on Luck this game? We might not. We might not have time. I'm going to send the Count on Luck. Makes me feel a little bad, but... Slagstorm. Crap. The big problem now is the Swift Spear is probably going to get boosted above the Slagstorm anyways, and the Lightning Strike for that matter. Alright, we keep Lightning Strike open. The Swift Spear has Menace anyways, so we go for the swing. And we see what they do. I think we're in danger, bro. I think we're in a lot of danger. Now, this is definitely noteworthy. The opponent has been missing their third. Yeah, with the Ward 2, Ethereal Armor is doing a little bit too much, man. Oh no, oh no. And there's the Monstrous Rage. Wow, that's actually game. Huh. Well, we can pop our Nemesis. Then Nemesis damage the opponent's face, so that way they don't gain life from the Swift Spear, but we gotta drop them the GGs. We got pretty run over there, and I would say it was because we missed our third. So in more testing required for sure, but if we miss our third in the last game as well, then maybe we do want to consider 24 mana, because you really don't want to miss your third, huh? Not in this deck list, at least. Because the opponent was showcasing how to miss your third mana and still do really, really well. But those Boros Aura deck lists are crazy sometimes, man. Yeah, overall, I think there was a small chance there. If we found our third on time. See another one where maybe we got to send it. But Grab the Prize helps us find the third. Slagstorm could help us clean up the aggressive board state that the opponent's potentially going to set up since they're going first. I think normally I would mulligan, but for the video and for the sake of testing the deck list to its limits, we're going to keep this. Okay, it's a Flood Farm Verge. Channeled Dragonfire. I'm going to be very patient with this. We're just going to pass it right back. Channeled Dragonfire could be the discard to the Grab the Prize too. All right. The opponent's splashing blue in their deck list so far. Yep, we better grab the prize while we can. And I like everything in this hand. But the second Slagstorm might not come in handy. No, I'll keep the second Slagstorm. Let's get rid of the Channeled Dragonfire. At the very least, we have the possibility later on of using the Harmonize, even though it's very expensive. There we go, third and fourth in our hand now. Okay, Lightning Helix. And that's another reason to only have the 23 mana, right? With the trading out on Grab the Prize, with seeing extra on top with Wrenn's Resolve, seeing extra on top with Count on Luck too, but that's also 3 mana, so... Alright, they had Lightning Helix in stock up, so I guess it's the Jeskai Control that we've been seeing pop up from time to time. So the next discard is probably going to be the Slagstorm. But while we can get around the counterspell, Screaming Nemesis needs to get established onto the board, and this is very much a Get Lost style deck list, not just a Lightning Helix style deck list, right? So I do think that the Nemesis is in danger. Oh, also just like board wipes too, but... If we can get the Sunspine Lynx down... Alright, it's only going to do 2. Nemesis is out of the equation. Like I said, Get Lost style deck list. We can't be too surprised there. Our third Slagstorm. Good news, this can hit the opponent's face too, but it's also hitting our face. I think I'm going to try the Sunspine Lynx. There's a real possibility it gets countered, but what I don't want to get countered is the Virtue of Courage. Oh, it lands 2 damage. Okay, it's a 5/4. That's definitely something, and it wasn't held open at all. They had 2 mana open. One of them was a white source, so they didn't have the Get Lost. Oh, okay. Okay, well, they get to cast it without paying its mana cost. Crap. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. Well, more mana. Maybe we just go Virtue for 5 while we have it. Triple Slagstorm's pretty bad, but also the opponent controlled us really well. Well-placed spot removal and everything. Being able to double down on the Get Lost thanks to the Shiko. Yeah, we got to be careful with these Slagstorms because we're at 13, but then also their Shiko swinging in the air for 4 every turn. They still have 3 mana open too. We can double down on Slagstorm to pop the Shiko. That's probably not worth it, especially where they could let the first one go through and counterspell the second one. So I think it's... I mean, Boltwave was a really good draw. So we'll see if this lands, and then we're going to see 3 off the top with Virtue. It does land. The opponent's down to 13. Take the action for sure. Boltwave. Oh, Count on Luck too. Wow. Right. So we take 4 from the Shiko down to 9. Yeah, the Slagstorms are really bad. I would not mind seeing a Grab the Prize at all. 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. We got to play this well because there's 3 mana open on the opponent's side, 5 cards in hand. Like establishing Count on Luck, that would be great. But I think it might just be better to continuously burn for as many cheap burn spells as possible. Because we'll see another 3 off the top here. Screaming Nemesis. Lightning strike, burst lightning. Could try to pop the Shiko, right? Lightning strike, burst lightning to the Shiko. Trying to get the Screaming Nemesis down could be good too. Actually might be the best bet. Alright, we'll still have burst lightning after the fact. So let's try the Screaming Nemesis and see if they drop that counter spell. It's really, really tough decisions here, man. Okay. They still have 1 mana open, and we still have the burst lightning. So I guess we still Burst Lightning their face, only this time we don't exile anything off the top. Decline, because we don't want to lose too much of our burn into the exile zone. Ah, Beza. No, that's terrible news, guys. They go back up to 12 here. We go down to 9. We're in danger for real. They got 2 open. Do we try to double down on the Slagstorm now? Yeah, I guess that's all we can do. Well, no, we could go 3 to the opponent's face. We'll have 4 open, 3 off the top. They're down to 9. With 4 open, there's a chance we could win. But I think we try to remove their creatures. Ah! Opponent. Oh no. Okay, I think it's a counter spell, guys. Oh, the creatures are gone. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Now, if they didn't gain the 4 from the Beza, we would have went Slagstorm to their face, because I think there would have been a real possibility of just finding the burn we needed off the Virtue. Okay, they still got 4 mana, guys. It could be another Beza, but luckily they don't benefit off the Beza now, because we're just on the run over here. All right, it's a mountain, which is pretty bad. Let's go ahead, 3 damage to each player. That includes us, unfortunately. And also, the opponent is still free to gain as much life as they want off of more lightning helix and whatnot. Wow. Sunspine Lynx is crazy, bro. Holy cow. There's no way they let that hit the table. But also, it's probably not worth just going Wrenn's Resolve for the turn, right? Maybe. Establishing the Sunspine Lynx. Look, it wasn't a counterspell last turn, but they stocked up. Dude, I cannot believe the tough decisions right now. I guess actually what we start with then is Channeled Dragonfire to their face, because we'll still have the 4 for the Sunspine Lynx, but this actually lets us see more off the top first before making any more decisions. Wind Bolt. So now we get to keep the mountain around. Maybe we do go Wren's Resolve Twin Bolt. Nah. Let's get the counterspell out of their hand, so that way next turn maybe we can actually do the burn that we need to do. And worst comes to worst, we also have Channel Dragonfire for 7 mana, and we'll still have 2 mana open as well. Chico, no, the Lightning Helix. Oh, good game, opponent. Good game. That was a really good game, guys. I think that was anyone's for real. We let them gain too much life throughout the whole thing. It was really hard to play around too, because there were many moments where they kept open mana with so many cards in hand. We just had no idea what was in there and when they were going to be ready with the counterspell or when they were going to miss a counterspell. I don't know. It's kind of, it feels like our deck list is doing the thing and doing it nicely. A little bit more practice with this deck list versus the current meta that we're seeing. I think it could do some real damage, man. I don't know. Also completing all the quests, that's really nice. How about end of video packs here too? Start with Foundations. See what we see. It's gonna be a Solemn Simulacrum, the new version of it. I've been playing with the old version. Now we got one of the new versions. And then Kishla Village. I don't think I've played with this one yet, actually. Islander Swamp. It kind of makes sense as to why I haven't played with that village yet, just based on the deck list that I play, right? Or that I play the most of, I should say. All right, guys, here's the deck list again. This was fun. A lot of fun. I always have fun with Burn. We got to do some rearranging for the Virtue of Courage. We got a lot of 3-ofs in here because when you're trying to fit as many cards as possible, if you had 4 cards that were 4-ofs, but you make them 3-ofs, now you have room for another 4 of something, right? So I think the 3-ofs that I chose make a lot of sense. Like, do we really need 4 Wren's Resolve? Probably not. 3's fine, especially with the top end Virtue, which was all too easy to get to, as we saw our mana we saw plentiful mana, even though it was at 23. 23 makes a lot of sense. There are going to be some people that want to consider 22 based on their playstyle, and some people who consider 24 based on their playstyle. Some people would rather flood. Some people never want to flood ever. And so they drop down to 19 land. Do not do that, guys. Do not drop down to 19 land for this mono red, right? Some mono red, sure, but not this one. We have 10 3-drops, for example. You always want to see your 3-on-3 probably, especially when there's going to be some games where you might literally be dead unless you drop your Slagstorm on turn 3. And if that's the type of deck list that you're seeing, you're going to want to consider 4 Slagstorms. But also, Slagstorms are rare. You could always do some trading out based on your collection. Maybe you have Brotherhood's End. Just don't forget, Brotherhood's End doesn't have that bottom ability that's smacking the opponent's face, which is essential, I would say, for this style of burn and what we're trying to do. Brotherhood's End, however, does have the ability to pick up artifacts, so it really just depends on what you're seeing. If you're seeing a lot of Simulacrum Synthesizer builds or something, then Brotherhood's End could potentially be a little bit of a better pick. But again, Slagstorm's bottom ability comes in handy way more than you would ever expect. Now, outside of these rares on the top end, I believe the deck list is relatively budget-friendly. Boltwave is uncommon, Burst Lightning is common, Dragonfire is uncommon, Grab the Prize is common, Lightning Strike is common, Twin Bolt is common, which I liked the one of actually in here, and I like it a lot that we can target our Screaming Nemesis and the opponent's face, and then do the 1 damage to the opponent's face. Well, it's a similar concept though to just going like Burst Lightning onto the Nemesis, just do 2 to the opponent's face that way, right? But there's gonna, I guess the better example would be like Twin Bolt Nemesis and also pop one of their 1/1s or something, right? Pop a Llanowar Elves or a Heartfire Hero that they had just established, because of course Heartfire Hero grows as the game goes on. But yeah, I don't know. I like the one of Twin Bolt. I think it's kind of utility in here. Anyways, that's common. Wrenn's Resolve is common. And then Virtue is mythic. Nemesis is mythic. And then our rares are the couple Sunspine Lynx, the Slagstorms, and also the Count Unlock. So yeah, there's a balance. There's a balance. It's not necessarily budget friendly. However, if you're a red player like me, I've been bringing this up a lot. I'd say Screaming Nemesis is well worth the craft, because holy cow, has it made the cut in a lot of my deck lists, but a lot of just everyone's deck lists, right? Screaming Nemesis is a powerful creature. It was well worth the craft for me because of how much red I play. So, and then there's going to be cards that might not be worth the craft, guys, like Virtue of Courage. I mean, outside of burn, if you have like one of these in your collection, great, play one, and then probably just go up something else that your collection actually permits, like another Wrenn's Resolve is not going to hurt anything, right? Because that's just a common. That would be a great one to trade up. Maybe you don't have any Virtue of Courage, but you have all the Count Unlock. Well, then you could go up that Count Unlock, go up that Wrenn's Resolve. The big thing here is making sure that you're still able to see more off the top, which is what Virtue's doing. But what makes Virtue of Courage so good, of course, is the fact that it does have that 2-mana adventure side too. And just being able to do 2 damage somewhere is pretty darn good, but not necessarily essential either. So I would skip the craft on the Virtue of Courage. Just base it on your collection for sure. And then same concept with Slagstorm. Maybe you don't have any of these. Maybe you do only have Brotherhood's End. You'd probably still be pretty satisfied dropping the 3 Slagstorm, going up 3 Brotherhood's End instead, right? So yeah, I would say base it on your collection entirely. However, I do think there's actually just more budget-friendly ways to put burn together in general. I think there would be ways to do 0 rare, 0 mythic, mono red burn. And, you know, mono red's a great way to do budget because, or mono-colored deck lists in general, because then you don't got to worry about any dual lands too, right? Which is another reason why this is probably relatively budget-friendly, but... All right, guys, is there anything else to say about the deck list that it didn't, like, showcase? I think it showcased everything pretty well. The Grab the Prize was pretty neat, but again, just as like a 3 of, totally fine. But that's another one, you know, it's common. You could go up 4 of these if you're missing like another rare somewhere too. I could easily see 4 Grab the Prize being successful in here. Sometimes you're going to trade out mountains. Don't even worry about the 2 damage, man. Just trade out that mountain. You don't want to flood. But other times, you're going to be quite successful at doing that extra 2 damage and discarding a Dragonfire. I mean, 2 damage is what the Dragonfire was going to do anyways, but now it has Harmonized to eventually bring back from the grave, maybe. I mean, we saw how easy it was to actually get to 7 mana. So I don't know. There's going to be other moments too where maybe you don't want to swing with Nemesis or Sunspine Lynx. I don't know what those moments look like right now. Most of the time you want to swing with Nemesis because it's really bad for the opponent to block it anyways. But there might be moments where you don't want to swing with Sunspine Lynx and you can tap that down and bring back a Dragonfire for just double red. And honestly, when you have burn, that could just be game. There's going to be a lot of moments where you get the opponent low enough to where just one more Dragonfire does it. All right, guys. I think that's everything. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.